What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is referee Steven Dumeng here for 1495 Sports. Let's jump right into the UFC 313 predictions. Here we go! We're starting in the lightweight division. Mauricio Ruffy, 11-1 against Bobby King Green, who is 32-16-1. Ruffy is currently 2-0 in the UFC with a first-round knockout in his UFC debut and coming off a unanimous decision win in his last fight. Bobby Green, the older fighter, which, again, age is certainly a factor when it comes to these decisions that I make and decisions. Bobby Green, King Green, 32-16-1, 38 years old. I mean, in the lightweight division, the lighter weight class, I feel age is even more a factor. And he is coming off a first-round submission loss to Paddy Pimblett. He's 1-2 in his last three. 3-2 in his last five, to be fair. So, not all is grim for Bobby King Green. But in any case, how will this fight go? I mean, these guys love to go for the finish. I mean, both of them have, I believe, double-digit knockouts. Let's take a look here. Always referring to our good friend, the Sherdog. Yep, double-digit knockouts. Will this fight end by knockout? I believe it will. Both gentlemen have power, and I think they're going to look to stand and bang to open up the show with some for the Just Bleed God. But you know, I think they're going to keep throwing hands, and one of these guys is going to get knocked out. Again, both fighters possess the power to knock each other out. However, I believe Mauricio will get the job done. I think we will see him win this one by first round TKO. That's going to be my pick for the first fight on the main card. Moving on, we have ladies action. 17-5 Yasmin Lucindo getting in there with Amanda Lemos, who is 14-4-1. Lucindo riding a 4-fight win streak. 4-1 in her last 5. And getting a submission in there in her last 4 wins. But other wins were all by unanimous decision. And Lemos, how's she looking? What do we got here? 14-4-1. She is coming off a loss, submission loss to Jandiroba, and that makes her 1-2 in her last 3, much like King Green, 3-2 in her last 5. And what's going to happen here? I mean, this is a tough fight, I feel, to call. I believe, for me, I feel this is a very evenly matched fight. And what will we see? I think this is going to go to the cards. I don't see a finish here. Again, I think this is going to be a tough one for me to call. I think it's a coin flip, but if I have to pick someone, and I will pick someone because I have to, I'm going to go with Lemos by unanimous decision. Like I said, I think both these fighters are very durable, very talented. I mean, yeah, both fighters have both of them have only been stopped 3 times in their pro careers. And is it one? Yeah, let's see. Wi-Fi is moving a little slow here. But yeah, ironically and identically, both 1 knockout or TKO loss and 2 submission losses. So they both have that in common. That said, again, I think, we do have Lucindo being the much younger fighter. It's a pretty big age gap, actually, here. It's 23 versus 37. Lemos being the 37-year-old fighter. And what will happen here, like I said, it's toss-up. Will the younger fighter be able to do it? I don't know. I don't think so in this case. It's always variable, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's going to be enough. So I'm going to go with Lemos by unanimous decision. Moving on, we have Ignacio Bahamondes 16-5 against Jalen Turner, 14-8. We have Ignacio running a 2-fight win streak, 4-1 in his last 5, and he's coming off a couple destructive knockouts, 2 back-to-back first-round knockouts. And will he add another one? I think so. Jalen Turner is also a very, very entertaining fighter, much like Ignacio. Both these guys have been on a tear when it comes to their highlight reels. But in any case, it's been a little bit of a rough outing lately for Turner, who is currently 2-3 in his last 5 and is looking to bounce back from a TKO loss to Carneiro. And will it happen? Again, I think both these guys possess one-punch knockout power. However, I do feel Ignacio will be able to knock out Jalen. Again, I don't think these guys are going to look to take this to the ground. I don't see any submissions really being a factor here. I don't think they're going to go to the cards. One of these guys is getting knocked out, and I think it's going to be Turner. These guys are going to stand and bang. Wouldn't be surprised if Ignacio gets gets knocked down a couple of times before he gets the knockout. But yeah, I think these guys are going to be throwing hands, and we'll see a highlight reel knockout. I'm going to go with Ignacio by knockout in the first round. Moving on to the co-main event, another guy who is no stranger to excitement, Justin Gaethje, the highlight, returns to the octagon off his fight of the year, fight of the century, fight of MMA period. Fight with, I'm so speechless, Max Holloway, which was absolutely insane. This is a rematch with Rafael Fiziev. Gaethje taking the first fight a few years ago by a majority decision. Prior to the knockout, Gaethje again had that majority decision when he did knock out Poirier. Fiziev in a bit of a rough patch with a 2-fight losing streak right now. Fortunately, he did sustain a loss is a loss. He sustained that knee injury to Gamrot the last time we saw him in action, and it's actually been a few years, which may play a factor here in his game. I mean, he has not been in action for a couple of years, or soon to be a couple of years. Gaethje is a bit more fresh in that regard. He does have a more recent fight. Although that was, gosh, holy moly. But in any case, we're going to see, again, I think a fight where, unlike the first fight, I think this is going to end by finish. One of these guys is going to get knocked out. Gaethje, again, no stranger, 20 knockouts in his on his resume, rather. Fiziev has 8 knockouts on his resume, with his wins, that is. And I think we're going to see a knockout here. I'm going to go with, this is a tough one. I really do feel either guy could, again, knock each other out. Some very evenly matched fights, I feel, on the main card. But that said, who will get it done? I'm going to go with Gaethje by knockout in the second round. I think the first round is going to be fireworks. Again, much like the Turner fight prior, I think guys are going to get knocked down, and then we'll see the knockout later on in that second round. In the main event, light heavyweight action, we have Alex Pereira, 12-2, looking to defend his championship against the very deserving Magomed Ankalaev, 19-1-1, and he's been on a tear. This fight can go one of two ways, I feel. It's either Ankalaev by unanimous decision. He fights a very control, defensive game plan where he utilizes takedown and his takedowns, and he takes him, Alex to the ground and just kind of looks for submissions, grinds him out, makes it a war in that way, and tires Alex out to the point where he just controls him for the 25 minutes. I can certainly see that happening. Alex, of course, I mean, has that unbelievably, powerful striking background. Can certainly shut off the lights here. I will say Magomed has power himself too. Is it Alex Pereira's power? I wouldn't say that, but he could possibly catch Alex himself. This is a very, very tough fight to call. Like I said, I'm either leaning towards Magomed by unanimous decision or Alex by knockout. What is it going to be? What's it going to be? We're going to go with Magomed, but with the upset. Drumroll. This is a tough one to call. I mean, he is the younger fighter. Although the heavier weight classes, I don't think the age is as much a factor. Again, if he can survive that, I feel if he can survive that first round, and just kind of weather the storm and kind of feel out Alex's striking, close the distance, even if he has to lose that first round just to gauge it, I think we will see a hashtag and new Magomed Ankalaev taking this one by unanimous decision. But we will see, ladies and gentlemen. Those are my picks. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, please support our friends at 1495 Sports. Thank you so much for tuning in and enjoy the fights, ladies and gentlemen.